there's no one here, you can come up and tell me why you believe. I mean, agree. Oh, never mind.
Hello? What'd you say?
So you can just tell me why you agree with me, Fluffy, because I actually need to
Well,
hear
I
it.
just well, mainly I think like religion is made to I don't know, just made to to control humans, I guess. And
Right, exactly.
just to suppress everyone so that they don't think further.
Right, exactly.
I
You're
don't know. Yeah.
100% right.
hmm Yeah, that's all I think though.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Fluffy, and I hope you have a lovely
Yeah,
night.
you too. Bye.
Actually, if you will stay, you don't have to. I'll make you the moderator, because I only moderate people who are atheists. Period. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, so you're on the side of God isn't real, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, today I'm going to be here to try to prove the existence of not only but the Catholic God. So, where would you like to start?
Sure, you can, Fluffy. You can start with the Eucharistic, the fact that you have to eat bread to represent Jesus' body in the blood. Can you start with that?
Oh, perfect. I have some tabs here pulled up about that exact thing. So,
Okay.
in the Catholic faith, we believe that in the Gospels, Jesus instituted the Eucharist, which is also known as communion or the Lord's Supper. We believe that this in Catholic Mass is the literal body and blood. And a few pieces of evidence I have here are something that's called Eucharistic miracles, where
Right.
scientific evidence and testing has proven that the bread or the host, when it has been blessed, has bled and turned into flesh.
Okay.
So a few examples I hear are in there's one in Argentina that happened in August 18th, 1996, where the Eucharist started to bleed, and there was one in, let's see, where was this at? In Italy, where somebody had dropped a piece of the Eucharist on the floor after the priest had taken it and to let it dissolve in water for a while. A few months later, he came back, or sorry, about a month later, the
Mhm.
Eucharist was still there, and he sent it off to the Catholic Church, the Vatican City. Then they sent it to a scientific atheist. He started to test it, and they did not tell him where it came from, but he came back with the conclusion that it was, in fact, heart tissue.
Okay, and when were these concluded in?
Let's see. The most recent one I just talked about happened in 1970 and to 1971. The first one I talked about happened in August of 1996 to August 26th of that same year. And then there's a third one I have pulled up here. And hold on, let me see if I can find out where that one happened at.
Okay.
That one happened in. This one's a bit further back. It
Right.
happened in 1247.
Okay, and what record do you have of this? Like, from what?
Well, the Vatican, after every Eucharist miracle, because Catholics do believe that this is truly the body and blood of Jesus, so they keep records of everything, including pictures and documents and scientific testings and reports that have came back from scientists.
Um, from that time frame? Like, scientists conducted
Yeah,
it in that time. Has there been
yeah.
any, like, new information about that, or just it's just stayed the same since the 1900s, or in that year?
I believe that I'm pretty sure there was a recent one that happened in 2015, and that
Okay.
one, personally, me, I can see how some atheists could write it off because I'm not so sure about that one. It was reported that the face of Jesus appeared on the host, so
Right.
I'm a bit iffy on that one, but that one happened in 2015, so scientists tested that one too. And there's also a. Do you want to continue on the Eucharist or do you want to move on to a different topic?
Yeah, I would like to talk about it, but first I would like fact check what you're saying, not to say you are saying it wrong, but just to pull it up on my end.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked up the 1971 and the 2015 one, like you mentioned, and there isn't a specific one that happened in 2015. Um, but in 1970 and 1971, it did come up. But what I look for into testing something, to see if it's real, is obviously scientific testing, which is said that the church at that time allowed it to happen. But I did ask, well, my sources, if there has been any updated research about that. Well, there was only an investigation that happened in 1984. So for me to say, okay, well, this is somewhat true, I would have to feel like that kind of miracle would need to be retested and retested and retested again. Because 1971 was a very long time ago. And if they will only conduct the research that in that time, it has never been reducted again and again to the current date, because there's a lot of stuff that could went wrong 56 years ago, where people were doing different stuff than they are today. So, yeah, I don't really know about that one. What? Did you hear me?
Yep, I heard you. But I just question, like, why would it need to be tested and tested over and over again if we have sufficient evidence from then? Like, how could it have changed in, what, 25 years since it was tested?
It was, all I see that there was only investigation that happened in 1981. So it was an it wasn't like a concreted conclusion that was done in 10 years after that. So again, like that, something like that, it would, to make people believe, it would probably have to be, well, not probably, it would have to be tested over and over and over again, so it can be up current to date, right? So things that were just done 30 years ago, like certain cancer treatments, they weren't just done like at that time, and it was just, they're not trying to find any inconsistencies with that testing. You would try to not to find any inconsistencies, but to see if it works over and over again. So if only one thing just to prove its existence only happened on the exact year and the following up year, and that's the only thing you would have, that wouldn't be enough evidence for me.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. Then you want to move on to another topic?
Yeah.
Okay, how about we move on to another thing I pulled up here called Marian apparitions. These have been reported throughout history. It's where people reported that the Virgin Mary appeared to them. I have two instances pulled up here called Our Lady of Guadalupe, where it was reported that Mary appeared to a man named Juan Diego, and she made a miraculous image of her appear on his tilma, and that image can still be seen in the church today, and it has been tested many times. And then there's another one called Our Lady of Fatima, where the Virgin Mary appeared to, hold on. And then there was one where the Virgin Mary reportedly appeared to 3 children for over the course of a few months. And then on the final instance, over 70,000 people reported seeing spin and dance in the sky.
Okay, so are you saying like somebody saw something?
So for Guadalupe, we have the tilma, which has been scientifically tested on many times, like what you wanted with the Eucharistic miracles. And then for Fatima, over 70,000 people reported seeing the sun dance. That not just being believers, but also non-believers.
So again, like, is somebody saw something like godly? Like, I'm not really sure what you're saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So has that been documented?
Yes. Guadalupe has been documented and scientifically tested on for multiple times over multiple years. And there's another one also, Zaytun. You can look up Our Lady of Zaytun in Egypt. There are pictures where Mary appeared over a church.
Okay, I'll search that one up. So, just a church or in Egypt, like a church in Egypt?
Yes, Our Lady of Zaytun in Egypt. Many
Our
people
Lady
reported,
what?
well, Our Lady of Zaytun.
So when were these photos done? I mean, oh, never mind. So people took a photo of this? Okay. Are you there? Oh, okay. Wow, I've never heard of something like that before. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? You hear me?
Yeah. So, do you have a
Oh, yeah.
argument?
What, for God existence?
Yeah. That you feel like is reliable to you.
I mean, yeah, I thought you would be, um, providing
Oh,
the
you want my
commentary, but
argument?
yeah, that's what I was assuming.
Okay. Well, I feel like God cannot be real to me because through my 5 senses, my eyes, my sight, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touch, So with these things, I've gathered every information that I have in my head. So I've never gone outside these things to literally know anything. Okay? So I apply this when it came to God, and I've never saw, heard him, tasted, smelt him, or touched him. And I cannot deny my five senses. So obviously, I believe he's not real.
All right. I mean, can you give me like an argument on why you believe that the cognitive faculties even give some sort of good presentation for the denial in God? I mean, that's just that. That's one. You know what I'm saying? And for two, I don't know what type of epistemic account you use, but I don't know if you ever heard of reliabilism, but reliabilism can be used something right here just to reject this view. So it could be the case that
Sorry
we
to cut
say,
you off,
well,
but can you bring your mic closer to your mouth, please?
yes, ma'am. Like, you hear me better?
Yes.
All right, yeah, like I was saying though, we can use reliabilism to reject how you view this. So it could be the case that these cognitive faculties don't have to be reliable in the sense that they provide a linear digress of datum. And if that's gonna be the case, then it'd be the case that we could reject, this postulates that you're just presenting us. So like how we would say, phenomenal conservatism, we would say, well, an agent is an agent is rationally justified in believing in Pete and a lack of defeaters. Obviously, this would be the account that you hold, or you could be taking some sort of inferentialist account. But if we take reliabilism, it would just be saying that these the cognitive faculties could be wrong, and if they're wrong, it would be the case that this argument presentation is clearly terrible. I mean, that's that. But I also don't know, like, I don't know if that was like an argument in an informal sense, but if you think it is possible, do you think you could formulate the argument, like, in a formal sense?
My
Like, if you
argument?
know what that, yes, ma'am.
So, like,
My
so
bad.
for me to grasp, like, literally anything, I need to at least use one of my senses. Okay? Not to say I have to, for me to gain any knowledge, all my senses need to be involved. But usually it will be like I see something, I observe it, or I hear something, I hear it, and then I trickle it all to my brain to create some type of information. But it all stems from like my five senses being involved. So when I apply this to God, I've never he's failed all of those things essentially. And the only way that I know God is even a thing, because it's not through my five senses, it's through other people saying and what other people are saying. That's the only thing, that's the only way I determine God, the word, right? But God, like,
Yeah.
in your worldview, existing, I've never experienced that. So I classify
But I might
that
have to
as
do my
being
headphones in,
unlikely.
but, oh, my
What?
bad, finish? No, I said finish.
Yeah. So, and I also observed other people, like other Christians, and it's like they are the ones who's saying, oh, I've seen God before, I've heard God, right? And then I applied it to me, and it just didn't happen. So it's not like God doesn't do those things for other people, it's that he does. So when he hasn't done it to me, I conclude that these people were just being psychotic. Or all lying, that could be an answer as well.
Oh, wait, are you done?
Yeah.
All right, well, okay, my objection is, well, all right, well, if you could fact check me on this just in case I'm wrong. I don't know if you said that Christians can see God, but that's not true. Like, the depiction
Right.
that they give God in the Bible is that he's just like a ball of flame, and basically your eyes will like melt or something like that if you were to happen to like see him, or you will like you will be like unalive. That's that. Two, um, I mean the taxonomical statements. I don't even know. Also, my bad, but we can get like 1 point. I don't know what that kid is talking about. Anyways, what I was saying was, I mean, I need you to also justify the taxonomical statements, like when you say because of X agent state this, and we could just say your Y agent. X agent states this. Y agents hold the belief that X agent, I guess, gives some sort of truth that claim, and the truth that claim is going to be the case that is true rather than false, and it's the case that given within a taxonomy, you'll hold the belief that there's like this is true. Like I said earlier, like prior to this is going to be the PC account. Just because it's the lack of defeaters, it'll be the case that you'll take the affirmation rather than the objection. But I just disregard that because we could say like for the syncretic grammatic terms, or just the logical operators, it could express some sort of different value given within the truth conditions and acceptability conditions. That's just that. For the other part, like I said prior, I don't think this responds really to the cognitive faculty part because this just again goes back into like cognitive faculties and the areas given within it, given within reliabilism and epistemology, because you're just saying that X agents, which your Y agent here by the way, but X agents provides a view for Y agent, and because the X agent provided a view for Y agent holds the belief because there's no defeaters to this, or there's a lack of defeaters. But I mean, well, here you don't even have to be a lack of defeaters in the sense that. Oh my gosh, my bad. Okay, but what I was saying was it don't even have to be the case that it's a lack of defeaters in the sense of how many you present. Like, for example, it could be one defeater, but it could be 5 pros, and it could be 1 con. But that 1 con can be equivalent to 5 pros if it's the case that it holds the same value. So what I'm saying there is like the cognitive faculty error will be just in rejection to the taxonomy statement that you provide, and also in rejection to oneself. So I'm gonna need you to like respond to those claims. I want you to also like further dive deeper within, well, not further dive deeper, but just dive deeper within the acceptability conditions. Oh my God, my bad. Excuse me. And I want you to also discuss the wait. I don't know what's the acceptability conditions, but I want you to talk about the acceptability conditions and the theoretical model.
So, yeah. So I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. I really couldn't grasp exactly the points you were making. To respond. So, but if you made,
Wait, you want me to like?
yeah, I just want you to go by one by one.
Okay.
One by,
So,
and let me
all right, I
respond
don't put
first.
this in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I probably don't put this in the proper order, but I'm gonna try my best because it seems like a lot of other people want to come up, so I'm gonna try to get this out. And if you don't
Yeah.
seem to understand it, then I'll just leave, and you can have the one or whatever. Okay.
All right.
So for one, what I mean by taxonomy is just when you use a group of agents. So let's say the scientific theorem for the Big Bang, right? The scientific theorem holds a taxonomy. The taxonomy is a reference to a group of sentient beings, or just a group of beings who holds an input to X theory. So what I'm saying there is that when you use other people as justification for you believing that God don't exist, that's just a taxonomy statement as well, saying I need justification for that. And for 2, what I was talking about when I was saying like I need justification also for like the acceptability conditions. What I mean by acceptability conditions is that it must be linear and allow us to also digress into a proper conclusion with like relevance added towards that thing. Because I'm just a relevant logician, so I don't believe that like you can have a sound argument without relevancy. But that's that. For the theoretical model, it's just simply saying like when you present X theorem needs some sort of grounding relation, and the grounding relation, again, like I said prior, obviously has to hold relevance. My bad. I'm ready to finish this. I'm sorry. And I mean, yeah, that's no. Okay, and the knowledge thing for the taxonomy, which is this group of people, refers back to the PC account, like I said, but I could reject that account with reliabilism by saying that your thinking abilities or your 5 senses could be manipulated into believing something that is not to be the case. And just because like you believe it to be the case doesn't mean that it is the case.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. That's why I said, I'm pretty sure I said it, my worldview, and I was making an emphasis on my, right? So I'm at the all, behold all, so if I don't determine that thing must not exist. But in my worldview, because everyone lives in their own head, everyone lives in their own house, so I'm allowed to think one thing because that only involves me. So when it comes down to me, I so heartily 100% believe God doesn't exist because of things. And I also can base my views onto other people and hear other people's things because that's how you get an understanding of things on hearing different perspective. So that's what I did as well. But at the end of the day, that wasn't the only thing to determine why I don't believe in God. So, yeah.
Wait, you got anything else to say, or that's it?
I appreciate you're respectful, but if you don't know, there was stuff written in the Bible back when Abraham Lincoln didn't pass that law to end a certain group of people to be free. And there were some people who wrote in the Bible against BLK people. And that was also a reason why I chose not to be a part of their religion, because the Bible was used as a weapon against white and BLK people at that time. What do you mean you don't understand? Do you think I can't see that chat?
No, my bad. But
Like
no,
I
I just
can't
didn't
say
think you gave any
because
valid
I'm gonna
points.
get banned, voice banned, if I say the exact things. But did you know that?
No, that oh no, I wasn't. I wasn't listening because the objection didn't sound good. But you can say it again, and
So
I'll
you
just
don't
listen.
listen to things that don't sound good? I mean, that's
Wait,
real.
no,
That's real.
I couldn't hear you. Your mic was cutting out.
Really? So I'm
Yeah,
saying,
it was
like,
cutting
if
out.
you don't know because you are BLK, that um during that time where a certain thing that was happening to BLK people for centuries, it was actually written in the Bible how to treat them, which was very improper. So, like, that's another reason why am not religious, is because what used to be in the Bible against BLK people. So the fact that you're a BLK person and that used to be written in your Bible and you still participate in that, I find it crazy.
Yeah, I feel you. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm I think those are justified reasons, but I'm gonna go because it's clear other people want to come up. So
Are
yeah,
you
man.
gonna let
Thank you
other
for
people
having.
dictate your understanding? Well, yeah,
No,
sometimes.
no. I just want to let other people have
No, I
time
get
to
it.
talk.
Yeah, I was gonna let you out anyways, not because you're being rude. I was because it is enough time. But you have a nice
But
night.
yes, ma'am. You too.
Okay, let's let this guy in who's been waiting for quite some time.
All right.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for letting me on.
You're welcome.
Can you please state your argument just to be clear? I wasn't really paying attention, my bad.
Sure. So, so what was the end goal of why I believe God doesn't exist is because of my five senses. So my five senses have determined everything I know today. So I would have known nothing and would have been like a vegetable without my five senses being involved. Okay?
Okay, okay.
And use them properly. I should say that too. So I used
Yep.
my senses properly in the sense of God, and God is like I've never saw God, I never heard God, I never touched God, never tasted Him, and I've never saw Him before. So with all my senses being involved, and each one is like never, 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 then I came to the determination to me that God is not real.
This makes sense, but have you ever seen? Let me ask you this: have you ever seen a rocket before in real life, like physically?
Like in person, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
No,
physically. Okay. Um. So then, how do you know a rocket exists?
because I've seen photos, video.
Okay. So people have seen photos of like Abraham Lincoln, for example, but
Could you give me a second,
there's
please?
physically no proof of him.
Can you give me a second, please?
Yeah, sure, my bad.
Okay, what were you saying?
I was saying that like, um, you don't know if Abraham Lincoln exists. There's just photos, right, of him. You've never seen him physically, right?
Nope.
So how do you know if he exists?
Well, through a certain law he passed that's in use to this day in the United States. And usually people who don't exist don't pass laws under their name, under their presidency. And obviously the photo, right? Multiple. Um, the person who the person who made him no longer living photo, I can get that person who did that to Abraham Lincoln's diary that he wrote about Abraham Lincoln. And he was an example of, he probably wouldn't lie about the person that he hated, that he was willing to do that for. So he probably wouldn't lie about his existence. And just things that he wrote, things people wrote about him. And these are coming from people who did not like him. So that's a high chance of someone making up something that about someone they don't like. And they weren't even saying nice things about him. So I can bring that involved as well. So he was sickly left while I was sickly doing something. But yeah, so if you want to use Abraham Lincoln, you probably don't want to use him. Please. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Why are you very impatient? Doesn't God teach you to have patience?
Wait, everybody else said that. It doesn't have to just be me. But first, I'm going to give you my argument for theism, right? We're going to say existence is good, right?
In your situation?
What? I asked you a question.
Yeah,
Existence is good, right?
No, it's not.
All right, why isn't existence going to be good?
Because at the end of the day, you're not going to exist at some
At
point.
the end of the day, you're not going to exist. So you feel
Well,
like you could, like, within one respect, you could go into existence and pop out within one respect?
what is it, like, pop out of what?
Out of existence. Like, you could pop in and pop out of existence, right?
That's not that simple, and no, that cannot be done like that.
Okay, so then you cannot stop existing. So you cannot say that you won't exist anymore. So wait, I'm gonna ask you again: is existence gonna be good?
Wait, what? What is you talking
Yeah.
about?
So like, all right. So basically, I'm gonna just break it down. When you say like at the end of the day you won't exist no more, that still won't even
Yes.
mean that existence is bad. But not even that. If we're just gonna assume like when
mhm.
you're existing physically and then you just pop out unphysically or physically still, that would just be within the same respect, and I would just be following the logical contradiction. So.
Did you ask me a question or somebody in the chat this question?
Oh no, I asked you this question.
Okay, so it's going to be what I perceive existing. So when you ask me and then say I'm wrong,
I don't hold to your paradigm.
What?
I don't hold to your paradigm. So like necessarily, this is not
Okay,
even like.
but when you ask somebody a question, like that's what you're doing. You're trying to get.
Exactly, but then
That's my view.
Yeah, and then look, I internal critiqued your paradigm and showed a logical contradiction, like I just showed you right now.
No, you did
You
not.
Pop in and pop out of existence. All right, so wait, can you pop in and pop out of
That's
existence?
not what. Okay, so let me tell you something. Okay, who said? Because it wasn't me. Who said that if you don't exist anymore, it's pop in and pop out? Who said that?
You literally just said.
Nope.
Well, at
I've
the
never
end of the
said
day,
that.
you won't exist anymore.
Yes, but that's not equivalent to popping in and popping out like a pimple.
You conceded.
I would love to continue with this with you, but if you think I'm going to continue with somebody who's purposely mishearing my word, then I'm not going to continue. Okay?
I can't speak.
Yeah, and you're not going to speak anymore. I did not say that. So existing, what's the point of existing if you're not going to exist for a long period amount of time? Right? Because I live as long as the earth, but I can. I might only live 70 years. And there's a lot of hardship in life, in existing, if you're a living thing. There's a lot of hardships. So there's not a good thing about existing. There's not. That doesn't mean I'm gonna myself. That doesn't mean that, but I'm just letting you know. So when you ask me a question, not the overall response, or you would have framed it like, would you, I don't even know how you would frame that without asking me to direct the question. But if you ask me the direct answer, I'm thinking that you probably want my direct thought about that. So, yeah. You're not coming back up because you're very violent and you're sick and you are very impatient. And Christians are usually like that. So let's move on.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, I'm just gonna give you the points. Okay, so
you are saying something then.
no, I'm not gonna say anything in my opinion based. Okay, nothing opinion based. I'm just gonna give you facts. Okay, so this has nothing to do with my opinions. This is fact. You cannot disagree with this. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready, Reese? Please.
Yes.
Please be ready to respond to this. Okay, this is stuff that anyone that has any kind of basic education would have learned.
Yeah, like someone with Down syndrome who had this as well, right?
It's only Down syndrome. Okay? Do you know what the Big Bang is? Do you know what the Big Bang is? Just yes or no.
Yes, I do. The Big Bang Theory. Make sure you put that at the end. Theory.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, in general, just the Big Bang, because I didn't know like if you knew or not. But anyway.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Like, do you know what it was, or have you just heard about it? Because if you know like what it is, then I'm gonna bring my next point. But do you know what it is? Like, do you know what it actually is, though?
Yeah, I do.
So how'd it happen?
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Big Bang is the leading scientific explanation for the origin of the universe.
Okay, but how did it happen? How did it happen? What is it like?
What the theory is that it came from an indefinitely hot, dense point.
Yeah.
About I can't really give it right now without doing my research. But
okay, so let me go ahead and anyone can fact check this, okay? So I'm just gonna pull it up the definition, okay? Ready? Here we go.
Right.
The Big Bang it happened when listen to this, okay? All matter and energy were compressed into an infinitely hot, dense point. So that is what created the universe. Now I have a question for you. If you can answer this, I will.
From this point, the universe rapidly expanded and continues to expand.
Yeah, but the universe
that did not create the universe.
Yes, it did. What do you? Oh my God. Okay.
No, it did not.
Oh. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Where did that matter and energy come from? Just answer that. I'll pay you.
How am I supposed to answer that? Nobody has that question. I mean, answer.
So, let me speak now. So, if no one has the answer to what created the energy and matter, if there is no answer, because we can.
There's not no answer. There's always an answer, but nobody has that right now.
No, right. That's what I said after I said no answer. I said there's no answer right now. I literally just said there's no answer right now because no one knows how it happened, right? So that means that it's something that is out of our grasp. The only thing that can defy what we know today, which we know physics, we know like almost like whatever, we know a lot about how things work, and we know how what happens with stars and how they explode, blah blah blah. Okay, so if we don't have an answer to how stuff was created out of nothing, that means it must have just come in. If we don't know how stuff can just be created out of nothingness, then that has to mean that there is a creator that can defy our logic, which it means that there is God. It doesn't matter what your definition of God is. It means that there is a God. Now, whether you believe that God can is your Christian God. God is Jesus. That's, the Christian side. Whether you believe whatever. If you're Muslim, there's different versions of God, but there is a God. I'm not saying there is the God of a Christian God of, because that's faith, that's belief. But there is God. There is something or someone, and that is God, the definition, at least my own definition, which is the definition of God. No, science is not God because science cannot prove how that matter and energy came in. So that's incorrect, Reese. I'm sorry. If
Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, a God can, because a God is all.
You have to be done now, right now. You have to be done right now.
I'm
No,
answering someone in
you're
the
not
chat.
going to answer the chat. We're talking together. I don't know why y'all do that.
All right, go
So,
ahead. Let's hear your point.
a lot of humans have questions that cannot be answered. Cannot be answered.
Like?
Can you let me finish?
Yeah, go ahead. That's why I said like. Go ahead.
So.
Yo, you're ridiculous. You can't even say an answer. Go.
Can you please be quiet?
Say an answer.
Because I wanted to interrupt you so bad, but I thought maybe he'll give me the same grace, but he's not, so I have to get him down.
Go ahead. Whoa.
So, a lot of the human species have a lot of questions, right? About everything. Okay? But since everything cannot be answered, that doesn't mean the answer has to be God. There is no evidence whatsoever that it is God. There is an answer for everything. And just because humans cannot come to an answer at this moment, or probably at any moment, doesn't mean the answer is God. When you can't answer something, that doesn't mean the answer is something else. That means you cannot answer it. Just because you cannot think of something being not answered because it gets you very upset of something not being answered, that doesn't mean you come up with your own answer and force it on everyone else and telling someone else they're wrong. Me as an atheist, I never tell somebody about what they view is wrong. I just say I don't agree. Because who are you to tell somebody that they're wrong? That guy who just came up here. You're nobody. You haven't done your research about science. You don't do your research about science. So how can you say that science is wrong? If you did know about science, you wouldn't be asking them funky questions. Because you know it couldn't be. Science cannot answer that, okay? I did my research about God. By the way, I was once Christian, by the way. For most of my life, I was Christian, by the way. So I did my research about Christianity, and it's all false. Just sick, like, honestly. Just that guy was just literally crazy.
Wait,
what's false? Are you a little girl?
No,
Please tell me you're not a little girl. Sorry, what'd you say?
Tell me how Christianity is false.
Tell me how it's real.
No, I asked you the question. Answer it first, buddy, since you did all the studying and everything, whatever you say.
I literally just said it. Yeah. I literally just said it. You heard me. You mentioned it.
No, say it again.
Okay, so this time pay attention, okay?
Oh, yeah, I am.
This is why God cannot be real.
No, I told you to tell me right now.
I am. Be quiet.
No, you're not. I'm telling you how. You have to, like, start from the beginning.
So you're going to ask me a question and tell me how to answer that question so I can accommodate you? Are you crazy, little boy? Who does that? When you ask someone to answer a question, you don't tell them this is how you're going to answer the question. You just let them answer the question. No, you're not going to be up here. Like, honestly. Hello. Oh my.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I think that God is real, but I don't at the same time. I feel
Oh
like
my.
because like there's no proof that God is real and there's no proof he's not. So like I personally support people who don't support him, like think he's real, and I support people who do. I did grow up in a Christian family though, so like I kind of do, but I don't at the same time. Like I don't know.
Can you explain why a kiwi and a banana taste the same?
They don't though,
Why can't you explain that?
because they don't.
Because that something does not exist, right?
Okay.
So that's why no one can disprove God's existence, because you cannot explain the impossible. You cannot explain why something doesn't exist, because that something does not exist. So I can't explain why a tiger and a fish look similar, because they don't, because that does not exist.
Okay, why are we getting mad?
Can you please be quiet for a second?
No.
Then you can go. Bye.
Then
Little girl. And when you're coming up here to talk to somebody, I find it very disrespectful that you have a TV blasting as loud as it is in the back. Little girl. You cannot simply explain the impossible, because it's literally impossible. So that's why no one can explain why God isn't real, because it's impossible. Because God does not exist. You cannot explain something that doesn't exist why it doesn't exist, because you can't get anything rather than what people say. And that's the only reason why the word God exists, is from other people saying that it exists. That's the only reason why God exists in that way to me, is from other people saying it to me. But the concept of God that they keep on saying over and over again, he's not real. Someone, that previous guy that said someone, God is not a someone. Like that's what the Christians, so why is he a someone all of a sudden? I thought he can't not be described in any word, because he does not exist. Next. Hello.
Hello, can I just know your reason why you don't believe in God? And I'll go by my speech.
Because he doesn't exist to me.
Alright, well, why do you think he doesn't exist to you? Like, what makes you think that?
Okay, so my 5 senses, which consist of my eyes, my nose, my sense of smell, hearing, touch, and taste. So with these things, I determine everything that I determined today, or gain knowledge on everything I know today. Without using those 5 things, I cannot determine literally anything. So I apply this to God. And I've never seen, I never heard, I never tasted, I never touched, and I never smelt God. So I say he doesn't exist, because these are the things I've used to get every knowledge I know today. So when I apply it to God, I just get nothing. That means he doesn't exist to me.
Alright, but also,
I can't feel my organs. What are you talking about? You can't feel your heart?
Sorry, I was talking to my friend. Also, why would Jesus, do a sacrifice for nailing himself to the cross, dying for our sins, just for people to
That is not God.
No, because Jesus and God are basically the same thing.
They're not basically the same thing, because if they were basically the same thing, they wouldn't be in 2 different words and 2 different ideas of those things. When you think of Jesus, you think of somebody who died on the cross.
No, when I think of Jesus, I think of my Lord and Savior. You think of someone.
Yeah. No. Did Jesus do that? Yes or no?
Did Jesus what?
Oh, I didn't say do that. I would say go through that. Did Jesus go through that?
Huh?
Did Jesus was on the cross and getting tortured on the cross?
Yes, he got whipped.
Okay, thank you. Close that now for a second. So if Jesus got tortured on the cross, would you say the same thing about God?
I can't say the same thing about God because God didn't do
You
that.
can't. So that's what I'm talking about, little girl. They're not the same thing because if they were.
Who did you talking to? You don't believe in God.
Oh really? Oh really, Fran? Really? Really?
Yeah, definitely me.
Fran, if you're younger than the age of 1-8, you are a little girl.
Okay.
Okay. My point is that Jesus and God are two different things. Because if they were the same thing, then you would not be referring Jesus as Jesus. You would just refer to him as God. You would say God got tortured on the cross. You wouldn't say Jesus. Because Jesus is the human version of God, correct?
No.
No! He's
No,
not?
Jesus is literally half. He's half of heaven and then half of human. I can't say he's just only human because that's not true. If he was only human, he would be dead by then. And not.
He was dead. He literally arose from the dead.
He rose from the.
So he would have to be. He would have to be. If he arose from the dead, he would have to be dead. That doesn't make any sense,
true.
Fran.
You're not getting the point. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
Little girl, goodbye. You don't know about your Christian faith that you hold so dear. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, little girl.
So I'm not Christian. I don't go to church. I don't learn about God, but I do believe in him, because I know that Jesus died on the cross for us.
Listen, little girl, what you just told me is you are not religious and you don't believe in God. But the God you just mentioned, he is religious. You would be associated to be religious if you believe if he died on the cross.
I don't go to church doesn't mean that I don't believe in God. I believe in God.
You just said you're not religious.
I said that I don't go to church.
Oh, okay.
I don't learn about God because I don't go to church.
You don't learn about God? So how do you know he exists?
Because I learned from my friends. They taught me about him.
You learned from your friends? Oh my.
About him. Maybe I bought the Bible.
So are your parents religious?
Yes, they are actually.
So did they teach you anything?
Yes. My parents teach me.
Okay, so where do you learn it from your friends but your parents teach you?
Okay, but anyways, why would Jesus make a book? Like, why would Jesus?
Jesus didn't make the book. God did.
Okay, well, why would God make the book about himself if he, like, why would there be a book about him if he's not real?
Because people want to control people. And people want to answer questions that can never be answered. So they make up God. And that's exactly why. Duh.
Okay. How did they make them up? How did they make him up? How did they make
You cannot ask him that. You have to ask the people who did that. Who passed by now.
You just said that God made the book. You didn't say that people made the book. You said God made the book.
Under your worldview, as a Christian, God would have. Well, he wouldn't make it. It was inspired. The Bible was inspired by God.
Okay, but
right?
You're saying that God isn't real, and now you're saying that God inspired it.
Under the Christian faith, they believe that God inspired the Bible.
Which he did.
That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm talking about then to you. But I don't believe that.
So you don't believe that God inspired the Bible?
Mm-mm.
Why? Which is why?
Because I believe God is not real.
And why?
What?
Why don't you believe in him?
Because there's no evidence of him at all. And you cannot tell me Jesus is the evidence because Jesus is associated with him. That's not evidence.
But if Jesus is associated with him, Jesus died on the cross for us, and Jesus died for our sins.
I know.
Jesus is. If Jesus.
Jesus is not real. God is not real. Bye. Hello.
Okay, so do you believe in Jesus?
No, I don't.
Okay, so do you celebrate Christmas?
Nope.
Okay, so God exists because how would the universe be here right now? How would Adam and Eve be created? How would
Adam and Eve don't exist either. So when I say God doesn't exist, I apply it to Jesus, Adam and Eve, and how you guys think the world is created, obviously. Because those all go together. So that means I believe something different. So you can't say, oh, how is God not real, but Adam and Eve is Adam and Eve. I don't believe in that either, because that goes with God, the Christian God.
Why don't you want to believe God?
Because God, there's no evidence of it. There's never been evidence.
There has been evidence.
Where? And you better not say the Bible.
I'm not.
So what are you going to say? Where are the evidence? Where is the evidence?
Personal experience. People playing.
Personal experience? Oh no, we can't work with that. So if someone says, I personally saw aliens, are you going to believe them? Hello?
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 Okay, then if God isn't real, then who created Earth? Who created your parents? Who created your universe? Like, who created
something other than God. That's all I can say.
No.
Something other than God. And you tripping. Okay, bye. Anyways, just because people cannot answer that question, is not going to, the filler in is not going to be God. So do you if you can't answer a question, are you going to say, I'm the one who did it? If you can't answer a question, no. You just leave the question unanswered. You're not going to tie it to God. Genuinely. And just because someone doesn't have the answer doesn't mean it's the answer that you think it is. Hello.
Host, wait, you should make me a moderator because
why?
I'm on the same pace with you, and honestly,
really?
like, yes.
What's your religion?
People are making. I'm atheist.
Okay, you can have that mod. There you go.
All right. Let's see who else we can bring up here.
No, we can just bring up this one. We just bring up the people who are waiting the longest. But I need you to stay in the comments so you can control it, okay?
Alright.
Thank you. Hello.
Okay. So basically, do you have like an actual reason why you don't believe in God? And don't
there's
say that
obviously. That's my actual reason. There's no evidence. That's my actual reason.
But there is evidence.
Where? And
you're saying, okay, you're saying.
I know what I'm saying. Please don't repeat it back to me.
No, listen. You're saying that God is not real. You're saying that Jesus is not real. And you're saying that Adam and Eve is not real. If Adam and Eve are not real, then why do we have periods to this day? Why? You tell me.
Because that's what our body does as women. What? You're okay. Let me stop being a little mad at little girls right now. Okay. Listen. Okay. Our body does it. There's not a story why. It just is. It just is. The direct reason why we have periods is because women have eggs, and the eggs can't stay.
We have.
What? You don't know that?
Oh my God.
Women have eggs to carry a baby for, and that egg gets old, and it doesn't stay young forever. So it has to come out, and that's what the period is.
Okay, why are you screaming? No,
because you don't know that? Do you not know that?
Do you know that?
I do, but you did not know that. You did not know that, honestly? Did you not know that?
Okay, I'm not really.
Did you not know that? Yes or no?
Stop screaming. Because you're over here screaming.
Did you not know that?
Why do you think?
Did you not know that?
Why do you think that?
No, I'm asking you, and then I can answer your question.
Why do you
Excuse me, I will kick you off if you don't answer my question.
Okay, kick me off, but why did you
She
think that?
did not know that? She did not know that women have eggs, and the eggs don't stay alive forever, or they're not even alive, but they don't stay young. They're not a good egg, so they pass through your yud, and that's why, and then the whole shedding process too. You sickly did not know that as a woman or a young girl. You honestly thought that Eve was the reason why you have periods? Oh my. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Sure, so God isn't real, right? Do you want me to give you my argument for God?
Sure.
Yeah,
Wait, can I
sure,
ask you a question first?
Sure.
So, why do you think that women have periods?
I'm not a woman. I don't study biology, so I can't answer that.
So you don't know why women have periods? Do you need to study biology to know that?
Yeah, I'm not a biologist.
So you don't know why women have periods because you haven't studied it.
Am I a woman?
You don't have to. Okay. Castanova. You don't have to be a woman to know that. I know a lot about male genitalia, and I'm not a fucking man. These people are sick. Then I'm angry, and I'll be back.